So I'm at Austin Airport, about to get on the bird. There she is right there, Southwest. It was a pain in the butt getting through, not customs, whatever it is, the TSA. It's been almost a decade since I've flown, so it was a new experience, but normally I remember getting through in, 10, 15 minutes, and it took like 30 minutes to get through there. So anyways, we're about to board, and I'm about to head to California to see Jeremiah. So finally made it onto the plane. I was the last one on. Actually got a whole row to myself. And my secret to getting a whole row to yourself, don't bathe for 3 days before you get on a plane. No one wanted to sit here next to me. Crazy. You don't realize how big the earth is until you're flying for 3.5 hours, and I don't know, there was a bunch of just open nothingness out here. It's just crazy. But yeah, we're coming into Ontario. I think we're gonna land soon. Wow, this is beautiful. But God definitely did create a beautiful world. But yeah, it's crazy. Some of these mountains I'm looking, and there's literally no structures on them. So I guess when I'm in a major city, I think it's big until you look and just realize how big the earth really is. So we're literally flying, I guess, the same height as these mountains over here. I wish I knew which mountains they were, but I don't know, I guess I should know my geography a little bit better. So look how high we still are, and we're running parallel with these mountains. Isn't that crazy? Through the clouds. So we just landed. It was a little rough. Not a hurry. I need to hurry up and get out of here though, before this state rubs off on me and I end up gay, leaning left and cutting off my wiener. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is a beautiful state, but I'll be glad to get out of here. Alright, so finally made it to California with Jeremiah. And we are headed east to Alabama, his house that I was at a couple months ago making videos with him. Have Nugget, Turbo, and the turtles with us, and we're just driving, and we were talking talking about the reasons why Jeremiah is making this move. I know he's talked about it a lot on his channel, Jeremiah Babe, but I kind of want to discuss it because this may be something that someone that watches this channel is thinking about doing, and I highly recommend getting out of the city or an area that you feel is dangerous and getting to an area that's probably more rural, cheaper living, better people that surround you. So Jeremiah, just give us the information.
Well,
I guess
the day has finally come. To all the doubters out there, we did it.
Yeah.
But
right, Nuggie.
Patience is a virtue. You do something like this, you really got to do your homework, because this is a very, very big move. It's expensive. There's a lot that goes into the logistics. The rest of my family will be coming out in a couple months, so I'm just getting there. Right now, we have a container that'll be there about 3 days after we arrive. My family will come out later on. I've got painters there right now working on the home, and then there's more work that will be done in the next few weeks. I want to get the home ready for the family, get as much as I can unpacked. But this is a big deal, a big move. It was years in the making. But you know, a lot of people think that you do this overnight, but when you have business, family, ties, a lot of things go into it. And for me, this isn't something that you do on a whim. And in a couple weeks we're going to move. There's a lot that goes into it. So a lot of people just said it would never happen because it took me a couple years to do. Could I have done it sooner? Absolutely. But I wanted to make sure that the property I got checked all the boxes. I think I got a pretty good price on the home. Got it way off the list price. Got a lot of things thrown in with the property, some incentives. So it all worked out.
Yeah, well, I have to commend you. I'll be honest though, for a while there, I was like, man, you are not, like, I believed that you were doing it because we talked about it. I knew you were taking the steps, but I was just afraid that you weren't going to get out in time, that something was going to happen, especially, around everything that was going on with the elections. I just thought for sure that it wasn't going to happen, that not that you weren't going to do it, but that you were going to end up getting stuck because of events going on. So I commend you for taking action. And there's so many YouTube channels out there that talk about this, about all this bad stuff that's coming, and they're staying in California. They're staying where most of the chaos is going to be, in my opinion.
I agree. By the way, I want to note, Bill Holter would swear at me, literally, to get out of California. So, Bill, I did it. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people that talk about the doom, the gloom, the end of the world, and what do? They stay in the urban areas, the cities, the states. I always knew I would be getting out. I was always working on looking at properties, strategizing, getting out, and the big thing too was making sure financially that I could pay cash and do this and not have any worries. And so I wanted to make sure financially that if everything ended tomorrow, that I would be set, and that I would not have a mortgage payment or have to worry about things. So I wanted to get my finances in a row, but it eventually got done. And I think that if you're thinking about doing something like this, you may not have as much time as I did, because I really did feel like I was pushing it. I don't like keeping money in the bank. I had to have some money in the bank in order to do this transaction. And every day that went by, I was very, very worried, because I don't want to keep any more money in the bank than the money that I used to pay my bills. You're talking about this kind of money for a house sitting in the bank, which it has to sit there and basically be there for at least 6 months and have some maturity, because you just can't show up, to the bank with a bag of cash and go, okay, I want to buy a house.
Right. And you've had to make a lot of sacrifice to do all this. And I know people say, I can't do it because of my job. I can't do it because of family. I can't, luckily you can take your job anywhere with you, but still there's, you're picking up, moving your whole family. And, sometimes your family, may not agree with you, but you're the man of the house. You're making the call. I'm getting my family out of what I feel is danger, and I'm going to a safer place, hopefully.
Well, and now I'm divided from the family for a couple months. It's very hard on everybody, but this is what you have to do. So you have to make the sacrifice. There's a little pain, and this is what we talked about years ago about, put yourself in uncomfortable positions now. Put yourself in painful positions now. We do that with a lot of our training, and and exercise the discipline, because this is not easy. I mean, this is a long drive. This is the third time in literally 4 months I'll be in Alabama, but I think it'll all pay off because we have more freedom. Our overhead will go down 30 to 40%. We're around like-minded people. We're breathing cleaner air, lower crime, better food, just everything better mentally, physically, spiritually, in my opinion.
Well, that and also, you have more rights that aren't being suppressed. Like,
of course,
here, you have freedoms over there where you can own pretty much anything you want to be able to protect yourself and your family.
You can carry your 90210 all day long, no problem.
Yeah. So, and I think as a whole, where you're going probably aligns more with your, with your morals and your beliefs and all that. And so, I think California is a beautiful state, but I think a lot of it's been ruined by, the political side.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And even some of the beauty now has been tarnished. When you look at the beautiful city of San Francisco, I don't know how many billions of dollars it would cost now to refurbish that city from what's happened to it with the graffiti, the homeless, the encampments. A lot of these cities now, their city lights don't work because the copper's been stolen out of them. The crime epidemic that's taken place. Even my area, the encampments. I probably should have drove you by the encampment before we got on the road here, but it's so far gone that if they were able to turn it around, it would probably cost the state, $1 trillion to clean up the mess, at least. On top of that, the fires that took place, I mean, a very small percentage of people have gotten permits to rebuild. Most of them probably will never rebuild. They won't be able to afford to rebuild. And it's almost like the state is purposely doing this. And it seems like there's going to be a theft of property in California. And insurance companies have run out of here. They don't want to do business. They can't afford to do business here. So, years ago when they said that, California would fall into the ocean, it kind of already has.
And she's cute as can be. But yeah, so it's none of this is easy. It's going to take sacrifice, and that's my whole thing. Is if you truly believe, whatever your scenario is, whatever you think is coming, like if you truly believe that, why would you not get your family, yourself out of harm's way? And that's what you've done, and I got to commend you for that.
I appreciate it. You cannot sit here and make videos like this with a straight face, and then, when I make these videos for the last couple of years, I said, look, my plan is to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. I'm looking, I'm planning, and it wasn't fast enough for some people. That's too bad. I'm going to do it when I knew it was the right time and the right property. But I always had the plan to leave, and I always made that very, very clear with people. I'm leaving. But a lot of people will make these videos and tell you how bad it is, but they have no plan to leave. They're talking about, being here forever. And so it's like, how can I even believe these people? If you really believe what you're talking about, you don't want to be in a state or a city like they are in the state of California.
Well, and I think a lot of these channels, these people, what they talk about, I think what they think is this is just going to be another 08 where a bunch of people lose their houses and then they're going to come in and buy up all these properties. But I think we're somewhere that we've never been before, and I think it's going to be a lot uglier than 08. I think it's going to be more than just people losing houses.
a lot of these channels, and by the way, there's some really great channels.
For sure.
We watch some really good channels. There's some really smart people out there. Some people really walking the walk way more than I am. But there's people out there that, you know, they think that this is going to be like the golden opportunity. Like when this thing happens, that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. That, oh, we're all going to buy houses for, you know, half off, or, you know, it's going to be a wonderful time. And it's like, first off, these people aren't buying any houses because I know some of these people, they're broke, but they're not going to be able to leave. They're not going to leave the room rental that they're in right now. Because let's face it, I mean, some of these people talk all this stuff. They're renting rooms, they're broke, and they act like they're ballers. They act like they're big shots. And when things really get bad, they have absolutely no training. Their roommates have no training, and they're going to be screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys are living in garages, and they act like they're millionaires. You know, but they'll talk about everybody else. You know, they talk about everybody else, but they're living in garages, or they're renting rooms with roommates, and you know, these guys are, you know, their 40s, 50s, and so yeah, it's a real joke. So you have to be so careful with people with anything, because the con men are definitely out. Everybody's trying to make a buck, and they're going to try to sell more, promote more, and these guys act like they're, you know, so accomplished. They've done absolutely nothing. So be really, really careful who you follow, who you trust, who you're buying things from, sending money to, things like that, because it's not. I've seen so many, you know, shysters out there.
You're not talking about anyone specific, are you?
No. There are some really good people out there.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But, you know, no, what's coming is going to be spiritual. That's going to be the big thing. I mean, look at
which a lot of these guys never talk about, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, you know, they're too busy selling stuff and courses and all that, but they never really tell you the number one asset that you should be plugged into, and that is God.
Yeah, I mean, just look what happened just within the last month or two, just the evil in this country. So it's going to be spiritual, it's going to be social, and it's going to be economical. So I don't think it's
multidimensional.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an 08. And so again, if you think something bad is coming in the near future, and you have the means, I would definitely. I think you're running out of time to get yourself and family out of harm's way.
Yeah, you know, 08, you know, the housing crash, it was really economic, the stock market crash, but this is going to be way beyond that, because we're watching a social collapse take place right now, and this is really the big reason we're in the vehicle right now. We're in the TRD right now, eastbound and down, because it's the social collapse. The economic collapse doesn't worry me. We're prepared for that. The thing that you really need to worry about, what most of these people don't talk about, they're too busy trying to sell courses and you know, tell you should go buy a house, is you better worry about what's coming socially, because it's going to get very, very dangerous. And so yes, gold could go to $10,000, silver could go to $100+ and beyond. Who knows? But you're living in a whole different world, and you better be real careful what you wish for. Yeah, you got some money, but how safe are you? Have you been, you know, regularly, religiously been at the range? Have you been religiously at your jiu-jitsu class, your boxing? Have you been at the gym? Have you mentally been playing this out on what you would do when this happens? Who are you going to allow to your house? Do you have a bug-out house? Do you have a bug-out bag? Do you have the food, the water? Have you thought about these things? Because every day things are happening. Look at what's happening in Portland right now. Look at the cyber attacks at the airports in Texas last week. Another reminder how at some point we're going to wake up and the power's going to be down. So I just I pray people wake up really quick, because you're running out of time.
Yeah, and we were talking about this as well, but what's coming is not always fixed by money. You can't just throw money at every problem. So you've got to be in shape as much as you can. I understand there's people that can't. They're, you know, handicapped or, you know, whatever. But if you have the ability, you should be doing some sort of...
But even if you're handicapped, surround yourself with good, strong people.
Yeah, so it's about your circle and all that. But yeah, you can't always throw money at the problem to try and fix it. So you need to prepare yourself mentally, physically, all that. Have skills, have people around you that have certain skills.
We know people like that. Hey, I got the latest, greatest generator. I got this solar. I got the best quality emergency food. I got a bug-out bag. But these people are not going to be able to protect it. This is the problem. They left their security out of the equation. The most important link in the whole setup is the security. Because if you don't have security, people are going to take your gold, they'll take your silver, your cash, your food, your water. Really quick, yesterday we talked about this. I saw a very, very I'll just say the motorcycle club Mongols yesterday. I did a video on them. It was one of my first videos that actually did pretty well many years ago when I filmed the Mongols, and they actually contacted me many years ago after that video, and they were very respectful to me because I did not judge them, and they were very respectful of that I did not judge the club and that I did not throw any mud out at them, and so we had a good conversation. Not that I endorse them or any organization like that, but they were very respectful to me, and I was very respectful to them. But I saw them yesterday near my house, and there was about 50 of them. And I was just talking. I was actually on the phone with you when I saw them, and they were at a gas station, about 50 of them. And when they come out to the desert, they come out once a year, about 650, 700 strong, and they stay down in downtown Palm Springs. And we were talking about this because it's literally a small army, and these are the kind of people that will survive because they're organized, and they are a strong. You don't have to agree with them. You can, allegedly, they've maybe done some criminal things. Not saying that. Allegedly, they have been in court before. There have been some arrests with some of the members, but again, I had a really good rapport with them when I did that video. But we were talking about things get bad and it's survival time. People like that, guys like that, they're going to survive. Yeah, they're organized. They have their circle. I'm sure all those guys that are in there have different skill sets, and yeah, they're going to survive. So it comes down to community, your circle as well, because I know I can't do this all by myself. Right, but I mean, you look at a group like that, very organized, and they're not afraid of violence. I can tell you that. But if they get, hungry and desperate, and they come, to your neighborhood, what are you going to do? Yeah, well, and I know there's comments in the thing that talk about, biblical scripture and all that, but, did God come down and slay Goliath for, David? No. I mean, David had to, train, use a stone, and take down Goliath. So sometimes you do have to defend yourself. And God did not build the ark for Noah either. Right. So it took Noah, I think, 99 years to build that ark. So we have free will. God gave us a choice. He put us here, and we can just hope that He appears out of the clouds and saves us. But I don't think that's how God intended it to be. Yeah. I think we're going to leave it there. I don't want this video to get too long. More videos to come. Also, check out Jeremiah Babe's channel. If you're not subscribed or watch his channel, check it out. But I don't want to ramble on too long about this. But we're just headed east, and more videos to come. Peace. All right, peace.
Happy boy. Turbo. She's like, y'all woke me up.